Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I made this multi-grit disc sander out of an old bench grinder for under $5. I started with this half horsepower bench grinder I found in my father's shed. It's incredibly underpowered, but it seems to work quite well. First thing was to do was disassemble it and take off the grinding wheels because I didn't need those. I needed those plates in the original nut though, so I held on to them. Next I had to measure the arbor, I think you'd call it, and the thread, and the diameter just so I can drill the appropriate holes. And I used some scrap MDF here, which seems to fit perfectly as the grinding wheels, or the sanding wheels rather. After cutting them to about the size I needed, I decided to glue them together, and I put some screws in there just to make the glue dry a little bit better and it holds its form. It's a lot easier to find the center point now rather than after you cut the circles up. So over here I'm getting it quite close to the line. I don't want to get exactly on the line because I've got a lot of sanding to do. The drilling process happens in 3 stages. First I'll drill a pilot hole, then I'll grab a Forstner bit and drill just below the surface so I can fit a washer and the original nut. This doesn't want to be sticking out or else you're really going to damage your stock. After the first one was dialed in, I could go ahead and set the stop on my drill press and do the second. At this point I took it to the belt sander, which I mounted upside down, again getting quite close to the line. I don't want to be dead on because I'm not going to be able to make a perfect circle from here. Close enough. I then mounted the wheel onto the bench grinder and used the belt sander by hand. This probably wasn't very safe and it creates a lot of dust, so I didn't really want to film it so much, but because it's MDF it worked quite well. Now I'm adding some epoxy to the wheels and I'm using Velcro. You can pick this up for about $5 a meter, but I grabbed some off some family, which was great, so that came in for free. You're also wondering why I haven't uploaded a video. I fell quite ill and I'm making this one now rather than the table saw because I am still quite weak. But yeah, I was a bit sick at a point, but I'm feeling a lot better now, so we can get back in the shop and start making. I also found it a lot easier to turn the wheel rather than cut around with the knife. For the actual structure, I'm just using some pine that I found and some plywood, whatever I could get my hands on really. I'm also countersinking with the Craig drill bit. I like to use Craig screws on most of my shop projects just because I've got a lot of them and they're really cheap in my area, which is quite good. What you're seeing here is the plate that the bench grinder will sit on. I couldn't find any bolts that I can mount the bench grinder with, so I'm using metal screws I believe because I have a self-tapping thread on them, but they seem to work quite well. I did not add any glue for this riser block, I think you'd call it, because I'm not sure whether I had to take it off or not. Now that the sanding station is assembled, my apprentice Walnut over here is going to give it a quick sand, then he's going to put some spray lacquer on it, then he's going to turn it on and he's going to test it out. I gave everything a sand with 120 grit and just rounded over the corners. This can of spray lacquer has been sitting in my shop for about 6 months, but it seemed to do the job, although it started to clog up fairly quickly. I was a bit worried on how I'm actually going to attach the sanding pads, but I found if I grab a bit of cardboard and slide it between, slide the sanding pad in, and it fits quite well. Then I can add these quick clamps and start sanding. I was super surprised how well this thing actually works considering it's only half horsepower. I have 80 grit on one side and 120 on the other side, and this is actually the first time I'm using a disc sander, so I was really impressed with the results. Then I can take it to the other side and smooth it out a little bit better. Thanks for making it this far in the video, guys. As I said before earlier, I was going through some health issues. That's why I didn't make the table saw. But yeah, if you like this video, leave a like, thumbs up, or comment if you've got any suggestions. Dust collection is a big priority right now. I just have to work my way around it. But next video, I'm not sure I'm going to make. Hopefully the table saw. I've got most of the stuff over there. But if not, I'll see you in the next video, which is hopefully soon. Bye.